Hey friends, it's Melanie. Happy Monday and welcome back. It's the start of a new week and today's actually Sunday for me, by the way. So I just got over a crazy hectic work day yesterday, and I was kind of inspired to do this chit chat get ready with me because one, I just wanted an opportunity to thank you guys so much for the amazing support and the amazing messages and words of encouragement that you sent my way on my Friday Favorites and Flops video. That was hard for me to put up, but like I said in the title, it was important because I do think that there is a general lack of, I guess, appreciation for mental health. And I think I'm very fortunate in my life. I should probably start doing my makeup. So I'm just gonna get ready and I'm gonna talk, and I will, it's not a tutorial, so whatever I'm using on my face, if you're curious about that, I will put that in the description box down below. But yeah, I think there is a general lack of appreciation, I think, in America, which is where I live, in general, for mental health. And, you know, it's stigmatized in some ways still. I think it's getting better because as a result of the last year and a half, I think there are many, many more people that are dealing with just concerns with their mental health. It's obviously been very isolating to be on planet Earth in some ways, despite the billions of people on this planet, right? There's a lot of people that have felt incredibly isolated, and let me tell you, humans were not made to, we're pack animals. We need support. We need people around us. Like we work better when we work together, right? And for better or for worse, in terms of how the last year has gone down, I know there are a multitude of opinions on how to handle a lot of the things that are going on. I certainly have my own opinions, but no matter what, a lot of people have been in crisis. And I just don't think that that's talked about enough. And I gotta tell you guys, I said it in Friday Faves and Flops. When I come here to film for my channel, it really truly is all about a release or an escape for me. I have always told you that I don't ever intend to view my channel as a job. I want it to be a hobby, and that's because I know my personality. And I know how much pressure I put on myself because of my personality type. I am very type A. I am hyper organized, hyper vigilant, hyper just everything that you can think of. If there's a possibility to overthink something or to turn a tiny, tiny problem into some massive thing in my head, your girl's gonna do it. I like to think of all the contingencies. I like to think about what I can do to make life easier for myself, for my family, how I can head off problems so that I have one less thing to deal with. But really what that does a lot of times is just create more chaos in my head than probably actually needs to exist in there, because in general, you know, I think most people have some sort of chaos happening in their mind with just keeping track of everyday life, right? In a lot of ways, technology has made life easier for us, and in a lot of ways, it has also made life much more difficult. And it's just hard, you guys. It's really difficult to be alive right now. And it really opened my eyes sharing my story with you about what I was experiencing this past week. So many of you, and I knew this, I said it in the video, I know so many of you are dealing with very similar things, and you told me, I just so many messages over on Instagram from people saying, I'm in the exact same boat as you. I'm terrified. I'm scared. I have so much anxiety. I'm so overwhelmed every single day. I feel like I have no one to talk to. Some of you do have a very good support system, and you have, things in place for yourself to help you when you struggle. Whether that's therapy, whether that's medication, whether that's, whatever else you do to make your life easier, to manage your feelings and everything that's going through your head all the time. And it was just very eye-opening. I also had a few of you say, thank you for actually sharing something other than just sunshine and roses. And it really did get me to thinking that social media, while fantastic, is also dangerous in a lot of ways, because when I come here, again, it's my escape. So more times than not, it's not to present some sugar-coated version of my life, because it's not sugar-coated. It's truly not. But I also don't intend to come here and burden people in any kind of way. And sorry, my brain is you're going to have to bear with me, because I think one of the things that what I'm dealing with inside of my head is it doesn't allow me to keep a solid train of thought sometimes. And you guys see it, and some people comment on the fact that I tend to, it's mostly called rambling. I get a lot of stop rambling, get to the point. Oh, look at all this makeup. Yeah, we'll deal with that later. So I just get to the point. In fact, there was a comment on a video, was it last week or the week before, where someone was like, ugh, just stop with the story, just get to the point. And I was just like, you've watched my videos, this is just how I am right now. Don't be here if it annoys you. Really, truly, don't. I don't want to stress anyone out. And if you do feel like I increase your anxiety in any kind of way because of my distractions or the fact that I can't stay on track sometimes, do not watch, because I do not want to make anything worse for you. And I'm not saying that to be petty or mean. It truly, I know what it's like to be overwhelmed and to, I don't want to add that to your plate. So please know, if you decide to leave because of the rambling, I get it. I do. I ramble. It's just what is happening. And to some degree, that is just also my personality. So I think that it's just been amplified. My kind of personality quirks, if you will, have been amplified by the last couple of years. And, I don't lack the self-awareness in terms of knowing what is causing all of this. I am very well aware of the reason for my anxiety. And just to let you guys in on a little bit of my world, I have a very stressful job, and most people think being a florist, that's not hard. You work with flowers. Flowers are so pretty. You get to make people happy. You get to go to people's weddings and help make their day pretty. And yes, if you were on the outside looking in, I can absolutely understand where that would be the perception. And again, this is one of the many reasons why I've decided to never make YouTube my job, because the people that do, I admire them. The amount of pressure they feel to produce content, to get subscribers, to get views, to never fall behind, to feel like they can't take a vacation because they can't let their channel die. Like, oh my gosh, that sounds horrific. And I don't want this to turn into that, which is why I've always said, this is not something that I do for money. Yes, I have AdSense. No, it's not a ton of money. It helps to fund my purchases, yes, but no, it's not why I do it. I do my day job because that's good money, right? Like I've made a really good living being a florist. But I hate it. I hate that job. And the reason I hate it is not because of the flowers. It's not the flowers' fault. It's people. Dealing with people isn't easy. And dealing with people in high anxiety, high stakes situations is stressful. I can create the most beautiful bridal bouquet on planet Earth, and I can drop it off at the wedding, and the bride can look at it and say, "What is that?" I hate that, which is soul crushing. As a designer, that's soul crushing to have someone just poop on your work, something that you spend hours thinking about, obsessing about, creating, prepping, like all of the things that go into designing wedding flowers. It's hours of work, you guys. This isn't some dream job. Sorry to spoil it for you. It's not. I live for the design. I live for the creativity. But what I don't live for is people who, even though you show up with exactly what you both talked about in your design meetings, then all of a sudden, because they're having some anxiety on their wedding day, they just poop on you. Literally in the hundreds of weddings that I've done, it's only happened once. All it took was that one time for me to realize, oh my gosh, I could be the source of ruining someone's biggest day of their life. And that, it didn't hit me until it happened. And that was the moment where I said, oh, this is not the job for me. That particular incident happened in 2016. So sorry, I got a hair or something in my mouth. Ever since 2016, I have not enjoyed doing wedding flowers. Why have I continued this long? You know why? Because I couldn't think of anything else to do, and I made good money. Not a reason to be miserable. It's not, and I know that's very easy to say, especially when a lot of people are going through unemployment and are struggling financially. And I almost feel bad saying that. I really do, because I don't lack self-awareness. In all of the craziness in my head, the one thing that I've always been able to hang on to is the fact that I am abundantly aware of the struggles in the world. And I wish more than anything that I could do something to change that. That's why I got a degree in social work, you guys. When I was in college, I was like, what am I gonna do with my life? And then I had a meeting with one of the social work professors at my university and just kind of sat down and chatted with her. And she just shared with me her love for helping other people. And I thought, well, duh, like this is what I need to do. I love helping, and at the time I wanted to help kids. I wanted to be, a lot of the classes that I took were mostly sociology, psychology, but a lot of them geared towards specifically, at the time it was called juvenile delinquency, a lot of race relations classes, just a lot of classes that focused on why people struggle, why people aren't able to get ahead. And I just immersed myself in that. And I thought, this is what I need to do. I'm going to get a degree in social work, and I'm going to help all the kids. And it's going to be so good. I can't wait. I'm going to change the world. It's not how it works. I was a social worker for 6 years, you guys. And you know what happened? I came home from work crying almost every single day. Craig, bless his heart, I love my husband. He finally said to me, "What are you doing? Stop. You don't have to do this. You know that you're never going to really make an impact because of the way things are, because of the way that they're structured. Don't lose your mind over this. You have to stop. You have to find something else to do." And I did. For a while, I worked at a university, coordinating some student testing. Well, I started out in the admissions department, and then, and during that time, I also started a wedding planning company with a girlfriend, and from there, in 2009, I started doing flowers, and, it was a huge decision to walk away from that because it was something that I worked so hard towards and something that I just really thought I would be able to dedicate my life to. But once I got out into the real world and reality smacked me in the face, I realized, oh man, you got to be a very, very, very special person to survive in the social work field for more than 5 years. The turnover rate, you guys, is insane. Sorry, I'm not flipping you off. Maybe I'll use my pointer finger. Here we go. The turnover rate is atrocious. I could talk about that for days. But let me get back to just life right now. Life is crazy. It has been for quite some time, and it's not just the last couple of years. Obviously, our world has been in some sort of craziness or another for decades, probably since humans came into existence, right? Humans just cause problems. It's like, that just is human nature. Like, we create problems that we probably don't need to, right? And that's because people are all different. And that's hard, like an entire planet full of different people trying to navigate and do things and exist and try to survive and thrive in some kind of way. And that's chaos, And so that's been going on for a while, but I think what really started my downward spiral in the last couple of years was, so last summer I lost my American grandmother, my stepdad, who I call my dad. He is my dad. He's technically my stepdad, but he's been there since I was 6 years old. That's my dad, right? So my grandma, Betty, died last June. I went to the hospital the day she passed, watched her struggle trying to I don't want to cry during this, so I'm going to try to put the emotional part just to the back of my head for just a second so I can tell the story, but maybe focusing on makeup will help. I watched her struggle to breathe. She didn't want to die. She died because of an accident that she had. And Once she got to the hospital, she declined very quickly. And over the course of a week, we went from, oh, grandma just has a broken hip, to grandma's gonna die. Grandma's not well. You should come home. You should say goodbye. And I did. And watching someone who doesn't want to die struggle to try to stay alive is horrible. It's a horrible thing to watch. But I'm glad that I was there because I loved her. And I was able to tell her that I loved her very much. And that was a blessing. And I'm so thankful for that. But that was also the time where, and some of you called this in your messages to me, that was also the time that Mr. Kong really started to decline. And for better or for worse, I know some of you don't think of your pets as family, but that dog was, I thought of him as my son. As crazy as that is to some of you who are not animal people, he was a part of our family. We all loved him as a part of the family. And you guys know everything that I did to try to make life just as good as I possibly could. I took that dog to weekly acupuncture appointments. I spent money on things that just I thought would improve his quality of life, when in reality, I do think it made life more comfortable for him, but I wasn't prolonging anything. He was, he turned 15 last October, and that's a good lifespan. It's a good lifespan for a pug. And I just had to face reality, and I didn't want to do that because he was just always there. I loved him, and letting go of that is incredibly difficult when you are not ready. And there is no way to be ready to say goodbye, right? So, yeah, that just, and then obviously everything that's been going on top of that, and work, constantly rewriting contracts for people who had to move their weddings because they couldn't have them last year or at the start of this year. Constantly rewriting contracts, managing expectations once weddings did start about how flowers are not coming in the way that they used to. And I'm sorry, you're gonna have to spend a little bit more if you still want all of the same things as before, because the prices have shot through the roof for wholesale. It's all of those little things that just build and build and build. And your brain can only handle so much. And especially me as a control freak, I just think my brain finally was like, kaboom. There is no more for you to be able to fit in here and manage in any kind of healthy way at all. And last week, I do feel like it's almost like an audible snap that just was like, that's it. I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. And I just broke down. And it wasn't even, like, my clients yesterday are great people. They were fantastic. But it was the pressure of, like, knowing that, these guys postponed their wedding for a year, and they did that to have the wedding of their dreams. And once again, that client from 2016 popped back into my head, and I thought, oh my gosh, if I ruin their day because their flowers don't turn out the way that they imagined in their brain, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do when that happens? And, Craig is in Canada. He went up there with his dad. My father-in-law also got cancer last year. And so, helping my husband navigate through that and all of his emotions around that. And luckily the prognosis for my father-in-law is very good. I don't want to imply that he's going anywhere. He's not. But he's older. And so Craig, started coming to terms with the fact that his dad is old. Him and his dad are very close. You guys know that Craig is also self-employed. He runs the two businesses that he has with his dad. They purchased these businesses together as a team, and he spends every day with his dad. The weekends he's at home with us, but every weekday he's with his dad. They're like two peas in a pod. They're best buds in some ways, I feel like. And I want him to have this time with his dad. So I said, go to Canada. Despite everything that I have going on in my world, I wanted him to go to Canada. I wanted him to have that drive across the country with his dad and to do this thing that they've done ever since Craig was a little boy. Like those cottages that they have up in the Thousand Islands have been in their family for years. And that's where Craig grew up going every summer. That's where he's his happiest. And guess what? That's also where Stella is her happiest. And just this morning, I dropped Stella off at the airport with my sister-in-law, who is flying up with my niece Opal as well, to go to Canada to spend 4 weeks there. So thank you, Canadians, for hosting my family. They're delightful people. I hope that you welcome them with open arms and show them a good time. I know you will. But, you know, getting Stella ready to go, putting my kid on a plane again in a pandemic was, don't think that I didn't have anxiety around that. Oh, I did. And, you know, Craig had to reassure me 800 different times that it was going to be okay. And it's going to be okay. And so I trust my husband, and it's going to be fine, because it is. But all that to say is just like the pressure of like all of the little things piling up, that it caused the snap, and I couldn't deal anymore. And I had a panic attack. And one thing that made me glad about sharing that with you guys, my camera cut me off, sorry. This video is going to be long, I'm sorry. Hopefully you're still here. If not, that's okay too, I get it. But, you know, all of you sharing your stories with me just made me feel both validated and happy, but also sad at the same time, because, oh my gosh, so many of you have the same things going on in your lives right now, and you look on social media and you see all these people having a great time, right? Like, my stories are usually of the dogs because they make me laugh. Thank God for Penny and Alfie. What would I do without those two nuts? I would go insane. I really would. Alfie has been a lifesaver. He's a stinker, but man, that dog has been a lifesaver because he keeps me busy. He keeps me occupied. And he's funny and charming, and you know, just really, Alfie just lives his best life. I would love to be Alfie. He doesn't give a rat's patoot about anything at all, and I admire that, because that is the type of person that I wish that I was. I am not. So, and I do realize that I'm talking about a dog as if he's a person. I'm not crazy. I know he's a dog, but you know, it's just the idea of just living a carefree life, biting people that you feel like biting, that kind of stuff, you know. He just lives his best life, and good for him, you know, that makes me happy. And so that's why I share those guys on Instagram, because they're hysterical, right? I share funny things over there, but I just want you to know that just because you see all of that, like, fun, excitement, you know, whatever, it doesn't even start to, like, explain what's really going on inside my head, you know? And here's the thing. It's the same for everybody else. Every other person that you see on Instagram sharing their vacations or their family trips, or, you know, they're at the beach. What you don't see is the kids freaking out because they forgot the beach ball, or, you know, the parents like completely overwhelmed trying to do something nice for their kids when in reality they just want to like take a friggin' nap, you know? But we don't show that, because who wants to see that all the time? Who wants to come to a channel and just see someone talk about their drama and their sad life all the time? Most people don't want to see that, you know, and I don't always want to share that because, again, I come here for the escape. The Instagram stories, those are my escape, but also that's not the entire reality. And that's just what I want people to know, is that, you know, I might share a lot of things with you guys here, but it's usually the good stuff. Because I like to bring other people up. I want to make you laugh. I want to make you leave your world for a little while too, because your world is just as overwhelming as mine. You know, I think some of my favorite comments were, you know, sometimes I didn't like watching you because you were always so cheery. And I thought, oh, yeah, I get that. I get it. You know, when I'm irritated, the last thing I want to do is watch someone having a good time. Just know there are most certainly times where I am not having a good time, but I still come here and try to suck it up because this helps me center myself in some weird, twisted way. This helps me escape whatever shenanigans are going on in my brain, and it just makes life a little bit better. Wow, look at this. Despite talking my head off this turned out okay, right? I need some mascara, I know. Anyway, I'm putting on some Salt Life lip gloss here for a second. Okay, look, I'm gonna finish my mascara real quick. I'm gonna come back and then, I don't know, figure out some graceful exit for this video. You know. All right, for those of you that are still here, in conclusion, mascara makes a big difference, right? Anyway, I just want to say one last thank you for all of your kindness, your support, your encouragement, your just reminders that I'm not alone. And while that is a wonderful feeling, it is a sad feeling that everybody is dealing with something. And, you know, it's important that we keep that in mind. The perceptions that you have of other people are oftentimes incorrect. And I think that's an important thing to remember and to try to, as much as possible. And I know I struggle with this every day, to just give other people some grace and some compassion, because you just never know what someone is dealing with, right? And I do also want to reassure you guys that I'm going to get help for this. Because of my educational background, I have this abundance of just awareness of the importance of mental health and the role that it plays in your everyday life. And I'm a firm believer in getting help. Sometimes you can't do it on your own. I am not opposed to different types of therapies, and I will discuss all of it with my doctor, who I trust very much. She's an amazing lady, and she's smart. That woman went to medical school and also just has, despite going through a very traditional medical program, also takes a little bit of that holistic approach as well, which is why I picked her, because I do think that there are lots of things that you can do to heal yourself in different ways. So anyway, I just want to let you guys know that your girl is just gonna get it together. And if there's just one piece of advice that I can pass along to those of you that are also having a hard time, please, whatever you can do, wherever you can reach out, don't suffer in silence or alone. There's no reason to. There is help and support out there. There are hotlines. There's all sorts of things that you can do to reach out. And I know sometimes it seems like you might have no one, especially if you don't have family close by or you're not close with your family. or you don't feel like you have enough good friends that you can confide in, there are professionals that can also help you. And yeah, just thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a wonderful support system for me. I've said it multiple times. I only wish that everybody felt this level of compassion and love. I think the world would be a better place. And yeah, so thank you. And I'll try to be a little bit more honest with you guys and not try to sugarcoat everything. You know, despite the fact that this is an escape, it probably is important to mention every once in a while that I don't have a perfect life. It may look like it, it may seem like it, but it's not. You guys saw that. It is a mess sometimes. I try to keep it together, but even someone who is as type A as I am, sometimes you just can't. And that's okay. It is a-okay to have a little meltdown every now and then. I think that having that release is important. Don't always hold it in. Yeah, I've talked enough, you guys. I will have lots more time this week to record, so you might see more videos than you have for the last couple weeks. I'm gonna decorate for fall, and actually I'm gonna be filming my decorating so that I can upload that in September for like a fun like decorate with me series. I have really grandiose hopes of this turning out amazing this year, because I know some basic editing at this point, which will make the process much more doable for me to share it with you guys. So yeah, wish me luck, man. I'm trying to learn some new things, trying some new things, just seeing what floats my boat next. Yeah, anyway, have a great rest of your day. Be healthy. I hope you are happy. If you're not, I hope happiness finds you soon, and I appreciate every single one of you. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Toodaloo.